So we're headed to Puerto Rico this morning. Finishing packing up and gonna head to the airport.
Yeah, now it's in your favorites again, so now worries
But it kind of sucks because once you
On the plane to Puerto Rico. Our perceptions were sharpest when we were estranged. We could see the shape of things. Sometimes the way to understand it for our own particular purposes might not be the usual thing of getting inside, but distance, putting it away from us, getting as far from it as possible to see what it really is. Because if it has gotten outside of us and we're inside and we can't see the shape of it, it comes to us as reality and it has no meaning at all. I fell at once into a trance and yet remained incredibly aware, so that whatever I opened my eyes to look at, I did not merely see, but felt as its existence. Such states come naturally to children. I was resonant with the hum of the universe. Suppose, on the other hand, we all seek to impose the order we can manage. The more public the order, the better we are known. Politicians are known, artists are known. They impose public order. But say you are some hapless fellow, can't keep a job, the wife nags, the children are vicious, the neighbor snagger. Down in your basement, you make really nice things of wood. You make a bookshelf, you make a cabinet, sawing and planing, sanding, fitting, gluing, and you construct something very fine. You impose that order. That is the realm of your control. You make a bigger cabinet, you make a cabinet you can walk into, you build it where no one will ever watch you. When it's done, you walk inside and lock the door. Let me propose this idea. You have them walking into these boxes and locking the door behind them. Fine. But two people do that and you have a community. You see what I'm saying? You can make a revolution with people who have nothing to do with each other at the same time. There's a theory, for instance, that the universe oscillates. It's not a steady beaming thing, nor did it start with a bang. It expands and contracts, inhales and exhales. It's either growing larger than you can imagine or imploding towards a point. The crucial thing is its direction. If things come apart enough, they will have started to come together. Her feelings in this moment are sincere. I know now each moment has its belief, and what we call treachery is the belief of each moment, the wish for it to be as it seems to be. It is possible in joy to love the person you have betrayed and to be refreshed in your love for them. It is entirely possible. Love renews all faces and customs and ideals and leaves bars of the prison shining. But how could a boy know that? I ran to my room and waited for someone to follow me. Habitually melancholic. All of it was to be destroyed anyway, even without me. I didn't understand your father. He was a wonderful man. He had a fine mind. He did not think like anyone else. I didn't understand that. I tried to make him like everyone else. He made occasions of the simplest things. He had ideas. He gave us books to read, brought home movie cameras, and pulled things out of his hat. When he died, he was the king of a 3-bedroom apartment in Bronx where he had sat in the bathroom and read the newspaper to escape life's incremental judgments. You keep drifting in and out of yourself and don't remember who you are supposed to be. She tells you she has the same experience, disappearing into herself. And so the two of you have been living together all these years, not sure who you are or who you are supposed to be or what you're supposed to feel, but known to one and all as the same clear couple that they've always known and recognized. How can I tell my wife that she symbolizes death? I will tell Angel simply that it may not be in my nature to be married, and she'll look at me, my wife of 2 decades, the father of her children, and I'll say there is an evolved being, and eventually it declares itself, and not just to me but to you too. If we do this right, we can save ourselves and our relationship. What is good about it? We can be colleagues. We're still partners in parenthood. We can help each other, relate as real human beings, share our thoughts, maintain our regard for each other. Maybe we can even go to bed from time to time. She may not love danger. He was disgustingly truthful and had rage to confess. He would tell Rachel of his affair almost from the moment of inception. Of course, she found it far worse than his actually going out and fucking someone that he wanted to discuss it with her, as if he needed her approval in some odd, unhinged way. But everyone talks too much. Rachel, broadcasting all of this, the women, the wives, the husbands, talk constantly and tell things to each other you'd think that they'd have the sense to keep to themselves. Whatever happened to discretion? Where is pride? What has caused this decline in tact and duplicity? I wanted you, I said, and you couldn't possibly be free. So I sent my arrows as close as I could get. And the intensity of feeling misdirects us. I know this to be so. Roque fell in love with 2 women who were friends. He'd married one and continued to love the other. It said of our own Maura, passionately suffering married to Brad, that just before she eloped with him, she told her old boyfriend that she would marry him if he still wanted her. There's such a radiance in us when we love. Our hero careens, wobbles, threatens to dump us right out in the universe. Seems to be not unusual that in the wild blare of absolute ecstatic conviction of love for a woman, in your jumped vivacity, you could just as easily reach for the woman standing next to her. It's as if she finds the ghosts inside the people she paints, or the rocks and mountains she likes for her subjects are broken open into some kind of elemental inner light. She was fervent in her feelings. She called his love her redemption. Am I on my right path, or is this my ultimate act of self-hatred? After a while, you just don't look up in New York when you hear sirens.
Damas y caballeros, en nombre de Delta Airlines, SkyTeam Alliance, de esta tripulación con base en Fort Lauderdale, queremos dar con bienvenida a todos los pasajeros aquí en el aeropuerto Hartsfield-Jackson en Atlanta. La hora local son las 6:02 de la tarde. Les pedimos que por favor permanezcan.
What I want for my life now is for it to be simple, without secrets. I want to be who I really am with everyone all the time. I want the person I love to be the person I make love to. I experience love or love of him as a state of clarity, of coming into being. There's a coincidence of who I am and who I ought to be. I had never felt that with anyone. This sense of having arrived finally in my life. I composed this placation, this fervent invocation, not to be punished for my happiness.